Hi, I'm Kevin, and I'm here with Sean. We are going to do battle to determine which animated Disney film is better, Frozen or Tangled. So I will allow you to speak to defend your story of child abuse and kidnapping.
Well, heck, I don't even need to make any points now because you just made my movie much more intriguing
that's why it's
than yours.
better.
It is. Well, if Tangled is The Godfather Part 2, then Frozen is The Godfather Part 3.
No, Frozen is just Star Wars.
Let's just say that. Star Wars?
Yes.
Well, then it's Return of the Jedi to Tangled's Empire Strikes Back. How about that?
Really?
Tangled is a better story.
When? Explain why.
I will. Thank you very much. It doesn't rely on cheap gimmicks to push its plot along, which is what Frozen does all the time.
Really? She accidentally knocks the thing over so the flower appears?
That's right. It comes organically out of the plot because the flower is a healing mechanism. There are not action sequences every 20 minutes because we just need another action sequence.
There's so many action sequences in that movie.
We're going to throw wolves at, which come
suddenly in the back of a bar,
plot.
there's some sort of like contraption that has like rivers and things flowing through it.
There are wolves. Let's throw wolves in there.
She's funny and she's resourceful and she's self-sufficient, but she's that from the beginning. So there's no character arc for her. All she has to do is figure out that her mom's evil.
Well,
and
she's
then,
also been trapped in a tower her whole life, and she has no life experience.
But she's
so
so
her
fine.
arc is the entire life experience.
She's not emotionally screwed up. She's not mentally. Physically, she's fine. In that little cramped tower, unbelievable.
All right, well,
let's talk about Elsa's powers.
Well, I can I can win this debate with two words: rock trolls. Okay, Frozen has rock trolls in it, for goodness sake.
Okay,
yeah, that's right. It's a whole bunch of marketing. That's what Frozen is. It's just like marketing after marketing after marketing.
No.
We think people are bored, so we'll throw in a talking snowman for the kids so that they can perk up and then buy the doll after they get outside the theater.
Because you know why Olaf is important? Yeah, I mean, you need comic relief in everybody. And the stupid little lizard. Where'd she befriend the lizard? Suddenly she has a lizard.
Yeah, but it's at the begining of the movie. It's not 3/4 of the movie when they think people are getting bored.
No, because at the very beginning of Frozen, when they're little kids, and they do her little magic, she makes the snowman.
Then make it magical right then and have it through the whole rest of the movie.
No, because she stops her powers and she doesn't want to use them. So when she starts to use her powers again, the first time since she did it with her sister, of course she's going to make the snowman. It's her connection, and that's why you needed Olaf. It's a connection between Elsa and Anna.
I see.
Okay, also, the songs are better. There's at least 5 good songs in here, as opposed to the 2 in Tangled. And I like that I see the light song, but I can remember one line from it. I can sing the entire score of Frozen.
Well, it's a more recent movie. It came out 6 months ago. You hear that stupid Idina Menzel song on the radio every 5 minutes.
I knew that would be a hit when we saw it, and we saw it before everybody else did, so...
There is not a single song in Frozen that is as good as I See the Light from Tangled. There's not a single animated sequence in Frozen that is as beautifully rendered as that scene in Tangled. That's a much better scene than anything in Frozen.
No, I disagree, but the lantern scene I do think is beautiful.
Yes.
However, they're singing a song, but they're not singing. They're just staring, and it's all voiceover until the last verse. Suddenly they're singing. If it's a musical, commit to it. Have them sing through the whole thing. Don't just have it be like background music like you'd want it to be on the soundtrack.
It's beautifully rendered. If they were singing to each other, they would know what they're talking about to each other. They have to come in at that moment in time when they both connect.
She can sing.
And know
she
the
was
same
watching
thing.
the lantern. She could have started singing, thinking about it. But that's how they're conveying their emotion through the whole movie. They're actually singing, and suddenly they're just not singing. It's lazy.
It also has a villain, by the way, which Frozen has to throw one in there 3/4 of the way in because people are getting bored. That's the whole thing with Frozen. People are getting bored. Let's throw something in there.
And that's what makes Frozen better, is because it doesn't need a villain. It's not about
villains. No, it does need a villain.
No,
that's why it has one 3/4 of the way through the movie.
No.
It needs a villain. It doesn't have a classic villain like Tangled does, which is one like Ursula. It's like Cruella de Vil. It's like the classic Disney movies of old.
But you don't need that, and that's the thing. That's what's so great about it, is that it took the stereotype of her falling in love with him so quickly. That was thrown out the window, and they made fun of it. They're actually taking all the Disney conventions and turning them on their head. So here you think Elsa's going to be the villain, but she's not. She's just tortured and tormented and needs to kind of get over her emotional problems. So yeah, they throw in kind of somebody at the end, but I feel like that actually is a logical character, because anybody who's like, what, the castle's open for the first time in how many years, is going to be like, let me see what I can get. And he did it because he fooled us all, because through the whole movie I was like, how are they going to get out of this? Because she clearly likes this guy.
It didn't fool me at all.
Oh,
it didn't fool me at all. If you have the second guy in the movie, I know that the first guy, there's some problem with him. We got to sing Love is an Open Door, which is not a good song at all.
So good.
Not anywhere near as good as those Tangled tunes. The last song in Frozen, Fixer Upper by the Rock Trolls. The Rock Trolls.
I agree with that. And I do think there should have been 2 more songs. It needed a reprise of Do You Want to Build a Snowman when she's frozen.
That would be good.
And then at the very end, they needed to sing First Time in Forever because it was the first time in forever that they had been sisters again.
Also good.
So
rewrite
Disney...
the movie, please, because it's not as good as what you just said.
Okay, I want to go back to the fact that you say there's nothing as beautifully rendered as the lantern sequence. Yeah, lanterns are pretty, I get it. But you have her designing her ice castle. There's a myriad of sequences that are actually beautiful in the movie, which is why I think I watch it all the time, because I've seen it 6 times. Because it's just, I just love looking at the colors and the snow.
You mean white?
But it's not just white.
That's the one color in the movie, it's white.
It is not just white.
You haven't seen an ice castle before?
It's
pretty much the same
not created
thing
when Adele Nazim is singing her song.
I think the guy in Watchmen pretty much creates the same thing out in the middle of nowhere. It's like the exact same castle, by the way.
This is the other reason why Frozen is better. It made $1 billion worldwide.
Oh, we're going to go that way?
Tangled made half that. Which means it has become a phenomenon, and culturally it has created something bigger than Tangled did. And why is that? Because people like it better. They connect to it better. Yes.
I can tell you exactly why that happened.
God.
It happened because of this reason. By the way, Tangled made $600 million
yeah.
and was one of the most poorly marketed Disney films of all time.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a musical until I went to see it and sat down and I was like, that's a musical number.
I didn't know Frozen
This is a musical. Frozen, I think that they did a better job. Frozen was marketed from the get-go as Disney's new comeback into musicals because it was at a time when Pixar was no longer the giant
So you're going to blame it on their marketing that didn't make any money?
Yes. And it did make a lot of money off very poor marketing. I mean, the word of mouth on it was significant enough to get people to spend $600 million on it.
Worldwide, mind you.
When they were trying to link it with like Pantene Pro V commercials. I mean, the marketing was really poor. And, you didn't hear the songs on the radio every 5 minutes. And Pixar was a juggernaut back then. Toy Story 3 won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature Film back in 2010 when Tangled came out. Now Pixar's fallen to the wayside. Their last 3 films have not been that good. And Disney's found a place to come in. It doesn't make Frozen better than Tangled. It does,
because the reason you hear the Frozen songs on the radio every 5 minutes is because everyone loves it.
You only hear the one song on the radio. If they had marketed the Tangled songs the same way, you'd hear the Tangled songs on the radio too.
No, you wouldn't, because can you sing the entire song of that See the Light?
Don't tempt me.
I'm going to tempt you.
I can.
Can you really sing the entire song?
I probably could.
I could sing it all.
That doesn't make it better.
Not of that one. Yes, it does, because it tapped into something that people clearly were looking for, and that's why it's become a monster hit, which just automatically makes it better.
So did Transformers.
No.
Transformers was probably made more.
Why are we talking about? Okay, sometimes I think you're right about things. Sometimes I do, and I think you have a lot of good opinions on the show. But for the first time in forever, since Beauty and the Beast, for the first time in forever, it's a monetary feast. Get it? Because it made a lot of money.
You mean Beauty and the Beast with songs written by Alan Menken, who wrote the songs for Tangled and didn't write the songs for Frozen?
Right, and why is it not as good?
Because Alan Menken didn't write it. Is that what you're asking?
No.
The songs are not as good in Frozen because Alan Menken didn't write it.
No. The songs aren't good in Tangled because Alan Menken can't write good songs anymore.
No, I don't think so. I See the Light is a better song than anything in Frozen.
The people that won for Frozen are now in that, what's that thing? OBGOTs or whatever. They've won Tonys, Oscars, Emmys,
Grammys, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
So see, they're awesome.
Inevitably, I think that Frozen was a juggernaut. It came out at the right time with the right people, and Disney marketed it that way.
Which makes it better.
Tangled is a better film. In 30 years from now, people will recognize that fact. They will get tired of all the Frozen and all of its pressing on them and all the songs they hear on the radio all the time. They will rediscover Tangled, and they will have a wonderful time with a better movie.
I will say Tangled is a good film, and I do enjoy it. I'm not knocking it, but Frozen is better.
Tangled is better.
Frozen's better.
Tangled.
Nope.